real quick, we're just going to do a Franklin County, Ohio search, and we're just going to look for one of the normal targets, right? Absentee owned with a certain amount of equity or owned for a certain number of years, whatever the combo is that you want to use. So we're going to pull up the county first, just searching for Franklin or whatever county you're looking for. So we've got Franklin County, Ohio here. Pull that up so we get our base search of all the properties there in Franklin County. And we're going to come in and now narrow it down, right? So property type is the first thing. See all these different types in here. You don't have to get too complex unless you really know what you're doing and you want to get really granular in there. For the most part, you're going to do single family residential and then duplex, triplex, quad, right? If for any reason you wanted all this residential stuff, you could click this header one and it'll actually select all the subcategories. But for this case, we really just want these specific ones. So those 4 property types, I'm not going to worry about vacancy. For owner information, we're going to do non-owner occ. And then I'm going to do years owned is greater than or equal to 10 because I want some length of ownership in there. That's going to cover me on last sale date, so I don't have to worry about any of that. Financing information, if you want to come in here and do some equity, you can do that. Just keep in mind, guys, that equity runs off of county records, and as those mortgages are paid down, that's not updated. So if you're doing long length of ownership with limited equity, you may actually be missing some properties that they have some equity in the property. So we're going to leave the equity here because I'm doing owned for more than 10 years. I'm not going to worry about market value here. I want everything in that market and then not listed. So we're going to apply that filter set for Franklin County. That's going to go narrow down all those properties down to, we've got 22,000 there. And from there, you can narrow down even more depending on the size that you want. So let's say, okay, we now have greater than 10 years owned. Let's just go ahead and apply 20 years owned. So we're going to change that. That should knock it down a bunch. There's 10,000. And then we can come in here and do the equity thing as well if we want to. Or a market value filter, let's say less than or equal to, let's say we want to limit to 350K ARV. So we're going to go ahead and apply that one as well. And that gets us down to just under 10,000. So that's the list size we were targeting here, 10,000. So we could push it over to skip. Easy thing I'm going to do here, you can download all these properties and put it into a list stacker, do all that kind of stuff if you have that capability. If you're just looking to get this skip trace and then go take action on it quickly, just come in here and hit skip trace records. It's going to come in and ask you to name the file. We're going to call this Franklin County or whatever you want. 20 plus years owned, not non-owned occ. And we'll just push that through. If you have tokens in your account, that's just going to pull from the tokens. If you don't, it'll ask you for a credit card there to make sure you have one stored, and that's going to now start running into the skip trace side. And you'll see these are previous files I'd run here. Once it's done, you're going to have a skip trace file you can download, and then you're going to have a property file here. So this property file is going to have all the details that you saw over there in property search, and this file is going to be your skip trace load. That can go right into a dialer, right into a text system. If you have a database manager and you have something managing the more detailed information, you can use this property file. And that's going to have not just the filters you applied, but a lot of information there with those properties as well if you want to import that. So you'll see the property types in here, cities, names of own, all this kind of stuff, square footage. There's a lot of property data in here, mortgage amounts, all that kind of stuff. So that's useful info. And then once the skip trace is done, you'll see the skip trace file become available here with this blue download button, and you'll see that progress happen in there. And that's the easy list build.